good job, you need to tell me, all right? Okay, so here we go. Niaje beste. Supposed to laugh at me, you're supposed to say Puma! Hey! Santisana! Okay. I'm learning. Have told me that I act like a cheetah and I look like a cheetah.
Great.
I don't have big teeth or claws, I don't know why, but I think it's because I'm long and I'm skinny, and then in high school, I was the fastest one in my school. Like, I could basketball and soccer and everything. Fast. So, and the other reason is my personality is like a cheetah. So, you know how you see a cheetah in the videos and they're chasing the animal? The animal can change directions, but the cheetah just stays right there behind it. It's like a missile and it won't lose its target. And I'm kind of like that. When I see something I want, I keep going and going and going until I get it. And kind of like a cheetah doesn't give up until it gets its prey. So I feel like I relate to a cheetah. And how a cheetah chases its prey, I feel that we need to have that same desire and that same passion for God. That we need to be people who chase after God with everything we have. And it doesn't matter how difficult things get, that we keep focused and we keep locked on to God. And it doesn't matter what happens, we're going to stay with it. And we're going to keep running and we're going to keep chasing. And so today, this morning, I wanted to talk to you about being a God chaser. Being someone who doesn't care about anything else except for just chasing and focusing after God. The first verse that we read together was Psalm 63, 1:8. And I think this is the perfect verse that explains really what a God chaser is. I'll read it again. The first one was, "O God, you are my God. I earnestly search for you. My soul thirsts for you. My whole body longs for you in this parched and weary land where there is no water." So that first verse is saying that I earnestly seek for you. It's not, oh, when I feel like it, when I have energy, I'm going to seek you. I'm going to love you. I'm going to worship you. No, it's I earnestly seek you. And verse 8 said, I follow close behind you. Your strong right hand holds me securely. It's right there behind God, following Him and everything that He calls us to do, to be there right behind Him, focused on Him, and not getting distracted. That's what a God chaser is. It's somebody who's in pursuit of God, doing all they can in their life to live for God, constantly wanting more of God, not being content just to study and learn about God, but wanting to know Him personally. Who here knows that being a Christian, being someone who follows God, is somebody who has a personal relationship with Jesus? It's not about knowing about God, it's about having that personal relationship with Him on a daily basis. See, we have churches, we have schools, we have youth groups filled with people who can win Bible trivia contests. People who know so much, who know all the scriptures, but they don't know God. They don't know Him personally. See, the problem is they have God up here, but they don't have God right here. I heard someone say that a lot of people are going to miss heaven by 18 inches. That's the distance between your head and your heart. Because a lot of people will have God in here, but not have Him in here. And in the heart is where that matters, is knowing God personally. It is good to have God in here, in the head, and to know about Him, to know the Scriptures. That is, it's very important to study and to know about Him. But if that's all you have, and you don't know Him personally, then you're missing out. A God chaser knows God personally. So we can get so caught up being religious that we don't become spiritual. We get caught up doing the traditions of stuff that we forget about the relationship with the one who died for our sins. I don't care how much you know about God. I don't care how much traditions you do. I only care about your answer to one question this morning, and that is, do you know Jesus personally? Can you say you have that relationship? Are you content where you are with your relationship with God? Are you a comfortable Christian? See, I went to a Christian high school as well. And I don't know, a lot of people who don't go to a Christian high school think that everyone in a Christian high school is Christian. Not in my school. And I was one of them. See, I knew it here. I could quote the Scriptures, and everyone thought I was a good boy who knew my Bible and was doing a good job in life. But I was playing the game. I was playing it. When I was with the people in the church and in the school, I acted one way, but when I was out with my friends, I'd be smoking weed, having sex, and getting drunk. Yeah. In America, you call that two-faced. Somebody living two different lives. That was me. See, I had God up here, but He wasn't here, so my life didn't match it. I thought that I could play a game and get away with it. See, I thought it was good enough just to go to church once a week and stop my Bible from collecting dust. If my Bible was clean and it looked like I kind of opened it every once in a while and I went to church once a week, then hey, that's all God requires of me, right? No, He requires everything of us. He requires us to chase Him with everything we have every single day. Not just once a week. Not just when we feel like it. But all the time. See, Mark chapter 10, the verse we read about Blind Bartimaeus, that's the story we're going to focus on this morning. I'm going to read it again. I'm reading out of the New Living Translation, so it might not sound identical to yours. Verse 46 through 52. It says, so they reached Jericho. Later, as Jesus and His disciples left town, a great crowd was following. A blind beggar named Bartimaeus was sitting beside the road as Jesus was going by. When Bartimaeus heard that Jesus from Nazareth was nearby, he began to shout out, Jesus, Son of David, have mercy on me. Be quiet, some of the people yelled at him. But only he shouted louder, Son of David, have mercy on me. When Jesus heard him, He stopped and said, tell him to come here. So they called the blind man. Cheer up, they said. Come on, he's calling you. Bartimaeus threw aside his coat, jumped up, and came to Jesus. What do you want me to do for you? Jesus asked. Teacher, the blind man said, I want to see. And Jesus said to him, go your way. Your faith has healed you. And instantly the blind man could see. And he followed Jesus down the road. See, I think Bartimaeus is the perfect example of a God chaser. Somebody who didn't care about his situation and what was around him, but he just wanted Jesus. And I want to talk about 5 steps to being a God chaser. 5 steps that if we do in our life, we can be sure that we'll be people who are chasing after God with everything that we have. See, the first step, the first thing that Bartimaeus did is that he recognized his need. See, Bartimaeus was a beggar. He was blind. He had to beg for his food every day. He was considered an outcast, somebody who was unclean. People wouldn't talk to him. He had a huge need, and he knew it. He knew he was blind. He knew he was homeless.